I bent my finger on a bouncy castle 3 weeks ago, and it still hurts.
Sports Center with Jay Ned, presented by Tim Hortons. Don't forget to get your Smile Cookie. Yeah. More on the Smile Cookie later in the show. More on the huge signing for the Vancouver Canucks. Great news for all you Canucks fans. But we begin with the final game of Week 2 in the National Football League, the Monday Nighter, and a bit of a contentious matchup between these two teams. They don't love each other.
And the Browns, everyone said the Browns, they're going to be great, and then they lose their opener.
They were terrible against the Titans.
But a great rebound game to have when you face the New York Jets. Odell Beckham Jr. getting set to take on Greg Williams' defense. He does these one-handed drills during warm-up. He started that in college. Greatest touchdown of all time, maybe. One of them. One-handed catch, OBJ, in this stadium back in 2014 against the Dallas Cowboys. Beckham Jr., he is the master of the one-handed snag. OBJ back in New York for the first time since being dealt to Cleveland. Browns first possession. According to NFL Next Gen stats, the 33-yard catch had just a 17.6% chance of being completed. New York Jets quarterback Trevor Siemian. What'd you think of that, Bob?
What the hell? Lucky catch.
Third and goal. Beckham Jr. He was pulled off the field as the official said his visor was too tinted. Cleveland had to settle for a field goal. Second quarter, Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, Monday Night Football debut, connects with Beckham Jr. His visor now less tinted. 21-yard catch led to a Nick Chubb touchdown. OBJ 54 yards in the first half. Simeon playing for Sam Darnold, who has mono, takes a hard hit. Oh, his ankle did not look good. He was forced to leave the game. Did not return, so he was replaced by Luke Falk. Late in the quarter, Mayfield going end zone looking for Beckham. It is broken up. OBJ shaken up, hard time getting to his feet, forced to leave the field 20 seconds before the half, but he did start the third quarter. 89-yard touchdown for OBJ, a new career high. What are the Jets doing? What? That guy's running the wrong way. 77 of those yards coming after the catch. Beckham returns to New York in style. Baker Mayfield has now thrown a touchdown pass in all 15 of his NFL starts. Williams livid about giving up 161 yards to Beckham Jr. Cleveland wins their first Monday Nighter since 2008. Beckham on his return to MetLife.
It was a pretty warm reception. You know, it was nothing but love, and I was just happy to be able to. I feel like I've lost enough games, period, and I've lost enough games here. So to leave this one with a win is a good feeling.
He's a guy that's motivated no matter what. When the lights come on a Sunday or Monday in this situation, that he's going to turn it on. And so he's a special guy that loves when games played.
That Baker Mayfield to Odell Beckham Jr. touchdown means he ties Brad Johnson for second most consecutive starts with a touchdown pass to begin his career. He's recorded at least one touchdown pass in 15 straight games. And I mentioned it during the highlights, that 89-yard touchdown being Beckham Jr.'s longest of his career.
Great day to be a Vancouver Canucks fan because their star restricted free agent put pen to paper on a team-friendly 3-year deal at an average annual value of $5.875 million a season. Of course, I'm talking about Brock Boeser. Here's Jim Benning.
We've been working on this for the last, 3-4 months. Talked about both what a long-term deal looks like and what a short-term deal looks like. Found that we had more common ground in doing the shorter-term deal, and so yesterday Ben and I talked again most of the afternoon and kind of last night things came together and got it done today. So very happy and excited to get Brock in here and up and going. We looked at trying to do a longer-term deal, but at the end of the day, you know, I guess doing a shorter-term deal puts some responsibility back on him now to come in and have three good years, and then, you know, we'll try to get him signed long-term after that.
Yeah, it's a great deal, I think, for the Canucks. Besser led the Canucks in goals and points following the All-Star break, ranked third on the Canucks in goals, assists, and points last season, and is just 22 years old. The Canucks and Flames split squads were playing on Monday night. This is the Calgary game. Big names in the lineup for Calgary, including Johnny Gaudreau, who beats Richard Bachman there in a bit of a weak one. Johnny Hockey led the Flames 36 goals last season. Second period, Michael Frolik. Short side makes it 2-0. Frolik 16 goals last year. Now 2-1 Flames the third. Jake Virtanen. What a snipe, beating Cam Talbot. Apparently Cam Talbot was getting booed by the Calgary Flames home crowd. Guys, it's a split squad game. Early in OT, Canucks 2-on-1. Virtanen. Snipes! Canucks win 3-2.
More preseason puck.
You
Sure.
got it, Dan. Why not? This one in Victoria, BC at the Save-On Center. Early first, Dylan Dubé lays the hit on Adam Gaudette. Play continues. Dubé heads to the net. Takes the center feed from Matthew Phillips. Initial chance to stop Dubé. Knocks rebound past Michael DiPietro. 1-0 Cowtown. Dubé, 1 goal in 25 games for the Flames last season. The former Kelowna Rockets star. Final minute of the first, now 2-0. Bo Horvat, new teammate JT Miller working the give and go. Horvat hits the side of the net. He had a career high 27 goals last season. Going to be some great games between these two teams this year. Middle frame, Austin Czarnik takes the breakout pass. 2-on-1, Mark Jankowski. And Czarnik, second of the game. Calgary opens up a 3-0 lead in Victoria, and they're up 4-1 in the third.
Well, Austin Czarnik with it.
Jets, Oilers from Edmonton. Several players getting their first looks. That includes Neil Pionk, who's acquired in the Jacob Trouba deal. Opening period, J.C. Lippin drops for Pionk. Stuart Skinner stops him. That's a former Lethbridge Hurricane in goal. Also debuting with the new team, James Neal, the real deal, on a line with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Sam Gagner. Puck gets worked around, was off the skate of Neal, knocks it down, banks it in. Neal looking to bounce back. He only had 7 goals with the Flames last season. Nearing the end of the second, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
He got married this summer.
Huh.
I wasn't invited.
Nice work, Nuge. Now he's got to pay off his wedding, so he better produce. 2-0 after 40 minutes. In the third, Jonah Luoto. Nice individual effort. But the former Peterborough Pete, Dylan Wells, who was on a relief of Skinner, flashes the mitt. Wells and Skinner stopped all 25 shots they faced. Oilers win 2-0.
And the Habs were in action as well, and their captain was in the lineup, playing in Montreal's first preseason game, Shea Weber. They were hosting a Devils split squad. Minutes in, Jonathan Drouin to Weber, tipped in by Arturi Lehkonen, who's playing up on the top line with Max Domi and Drouin in this one. Carey Price playing 30 minutes in this one, still in the first. The Devils are on the power play. Nico Hischier off the post. Victor Mete almost puts it in his own net. Victor Mete, his nickname, Meat. 8 saves on 9 shots for Carey Price. Caden Primo comes in for Price halfway through the second. He was drafted in the 7th round in 2017. Makes an immediate impression. Here is Brian Mudryk.
Turnover right at the blue line. Here's Hischier in. Hischier sends across shot. What a stop! Caden Primo, robbery at Coleman.
And that is Primo's first save in a Habs jersey. Max Domi says, yeah, good job. Price says, okay, all right. All right.
The Devils.
Okay. Early third. Puck is flipped into the corner. Bounces away from Primo. Michael McLeod scores.
Tough goal for Caden
That ties the game at 2. The only goal that Primo allowed on 17 shots, under 3 to play. Montreal is shorthanded. I mean, listen to the crowd at the Bell Center. They're ready for the season to start.
Hockey's back. All is right in the world. Okay, we now officially have 2 weeks to go in baseball's regular season, and so much to be decided in the National League. Cards lead the Central, but the Cubs and Brewers, they're right there. Well, at the same time, the Nats and Cubbies try to stay in front of the Brewers for the 2 wild card spots. And the Cards, in all of this, they're in the middle of a stretch in which they play every team involved. They face the Brewers over the weekend, the Cubbies this coming weekend, and to start the week, they have the Nationals. Talk about a killer schedule. Huge 3-game series. Both teams entered in a postseason spot, Nats and Cards. Cards holding a half-game lead on the Nats. Marcell Ozuna. Man on. Ball gone. Ozuna entered 7 for 51 in the month of September. Top 6, Anthony Rendon. With his Nats down 1. Again, if you go to Jersey Mike's, get the number 3 sub. It sounds boring. It's a ham sub, but it's not boring. It's simply delicious. In the 6th, Rendon. In the field, snags the Yadi Molina liner. This game is still tied. Bottom 7. Ozuna back at the dish. He's got 2 on. And Ozuna tickles the line. Ozuna drives in all 4 runs for the Cards as St. Louis wins the opener 4-2.
See how the Brewers did, just 1 game back of the final wild card spot and a favorable schedule for the remainder of the season. They were hosting San Diego, and they got some help from the former Padre Corey Spangenberg. Ranges to his left, takes away a hit from Manny Machado. He spent 5 seasons with San Diego. First time he's played them. 4th inning, Spangenberg up, 2 out, 2-run triple over the head of Will Myers. Spangenberg. 3 RBIs against his former team. You know, after back-to-back 30 home run seasons, Travis Shaw has just 6 this year. He was demoted to the minors at one point, but this is a solo shot for his 7th. You know, the Brewers have won 10 of their last 11. 5 won the final.
Reds and Cubs, Chicago coming off a monster weekend. They scored a franchise-best 47 runs in 3 games. Bottom 1, Kyle Schwarber. Straight away. Did he get enough? Oh, yeah. His 37th of the season, 3-0 Cubs, top 4. Reds are within 2. Derek Dietrich. He's very jacked. Schwarber dived. Oh, that was an awkward slide. He's okay. Schwarbsy's fine.
Good guy.
I want to show you this fan. This is a talent. He could be on America's Got Talent. Balances a hat on his head. Oh, wow. He ends it with that.
That was
okay. So here's
genuinely impressive.
So we've got 3 teams here. Yeah, right? 4 teams. Of these 4 teams, the Nats are the only ones that lost. So their lead atop the wild card is down to half a game.
Can I just take you over to the American League wild card for just a second? Because Oakland with a chance to move up 2 games above the Rays for home field advantage of the AL wild card game. Bottom 2, Marcus Semien, 415 feet, 29 home runs from the leadoff spot this season. That breaks the single season record. And you know who it was set by. I don't have to tell you, it was Ricky Henderson. That's fine. It was back in 1990. Top 4, Jorge Soler. 446 feet. He's now tied with Mike Trout for the most runs in the American League with 45. Most home runs in the American League with 45. And Trout is out for the season. So Soler has an opportunity to move past him now. Jorge Soler, 45 home runs, 4-4 in the 6th. And here are the standings as we sit in the American League wild card. Yes, the Cleve in danger of falling further back, a game and a half out in this 3-team race. When we return, 2 future Hall of Famers injured in week 2. How long will each of them be out? We will discuss with our NFL insider, Mike Garafolo. No relation to Janine Garofalo.
That's what I said.
That's disturbing.
Oh,
Hey, everybody. Tim wouldn't let us walk over here. He said we had to just start here. It's not as fun.
Week 2 in the NFL's in the books. Significant stories to sift through in the Jay and Dan newsreel.
That's a great new animation. We haven't had
is.
a chance to talk about that.
The Steelers announced Ben Roethlisberger is going to have surgery on his right elbow. He will miss the rest of the season. Big Ben aggravated a pre-existing injury in Sunday's loss to the Seahawks, and there's no timetable for when he'll be able to play again. Roethlisberger has been healthy as of late, missing only 1 game over the last 2 seasons.
Really, the first I heard was kind of this past week. So, you know, I guess right after New England game, expressing some, you know, pain. But that was the first I had heard. He's a legend. He's a future Hall of Famer and unbelievable player. And I truly do learn something every week from him, whether that be communication-wise or just his creativity and no huddle. He's a great player, and you know, like I said to, you know, my man over here, I'm going to continue to lean on him and you know, try to meet with him as much as I can during the week, you know, however available he.
And according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Drew Brees is expected to have thumb surgery Monday that could sideline him up to 6 weeks. Brees left Sunday's game against the Rams late in the first quarter after his right hand hit Aaron Donald's hand on a follow-through of an incomplete pass. Teddy Bridgewater is expected to start on Sunday.
They're still in the midst of evaluating it. He's had one opinion, having a second opinion, and as soon as we know something that we can confirm, then we'll report it.
How well do you think you guys have built a team that could absorb playing without Drew?
Well, we're getting ready to find out. You know, hopefully the news is good, and the length of time, if there is any that he's out, will be shorter than longer. But, again, that's part of our sport.
Giants coach Pat Shurmur would not commit to a quarterback for New York's Week 3 game against the Buccaneers. Eli Manning threw for 250 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, and the Giants lost to the Bills on Sunday, dropping New York to 0-2 to start the season. Rookie Daniel Jones was 3 for 4 for 17 yards in the Giants' Week 1 loss.
Someone's going to be on summer lurkers, and according to Adam Schefter, again, Jags quarterback Jalen Ramsey has requested a trade. 2-time Pro Bowler and his head coach Doug Marrone got into a heated argument on the sidelines in Sunday's loss to Houston. The Jags have spoken with several teams, but there is currently no plan to trade him. Mike Garafolo.
NFL Network star reporter Mike Garafolo.
There's a nicer guy on the planet than our NFL insider Mike Garafolo.
So when you have a busy news day in the NFL, you have to bring in Mike Garafolo. Ben Roethlisberger, he's out for the year. He's hinted at retirement in the past. So are we ever going to see Big Ben play football again?
I believe so, and really in his statement, Ben Roethlisberger said that the Steelers committed to him for another 3 years, and he fully intends on honoring that contract. But it wasn't a crazy question to ask in the aftermath of the news that he was going to need surgery on his elbow, because he talked about retirement before openly, and now you've got Mason Rudolph coming in for a team that really feels like in a lot of ways they're in transition. I mean, no Antonio Brown, no Le'Veon Bell, now Ben Roethlisberger down for a year. We'll see what Mason Rudolph can do. I talked to a lot of people around the league today who said this guy's going to be better than a lot of people think. The Steelers are going to be better off than a lot of other teams would be in this situation, because he played well this preseason and he played well in relief the other day.
Interesting. Well, for the Saints, the news isn't quite as bad because Drew Brees will only miss 6 weeks, but could not grip that football. It's a right thumb injury. It's his throwing hand. Is there any concern about how effective he'll be when he comes back because of that injury?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that you could have surgery on the thumb and then within a month and a half come back and be ready to play. But my understanding from all the medical experts I talked to on this one is that that's a fair timeline for Drew Brees. 6 weeks, maybe even beats that back onto the field. And the Saints have not gotten a lot of good football out of Teddy Bridgewater. So the hope is that Brees comes back. You just can't play through it when you've got a ligament issue as serious as Brees is. You can't grip the football. You need the power. Now, Jay, evolution of opposable thumbs, that's what separates us. Right. It doesn't separate Drew Brees right now, so he needs a little help getting that grip back.
Okay, I've got a quarterback controversy in New York. Pat Shurmur refusing to commit to Eli Manning going forward. Now, I'd just like to point out, during the preseason, I put the over-under on Daniel Jones replacing Eli Manning at 2.5 weeks. I did it on this very show. Was I bang on or what?
Well, you were spot on because we're already discussing it. Pat Shurmur left the door open. I still going to be Eli Manning, so I hope you took the over on that one, Dan O'Toole. I really don't have any solid information that that's going to be the case, but just in having conversations. But I believe that this was the warning shot to Eli Manning saying we are really, really close to moving on. He in turn said that he feels like he hasn't missed a whole lot of throws. That's code for not a lot of guys getting open for me right now. But the fact of the matter is this team has made excuse after excuse for why Eli Manning has not played well, why the passing offense hasn't been good. These excuses are going to run out at some point. It's going to be Daniel Jones' time unless Eli Manning turns it around quickly.
And then in Jacksonville, Doug Marrone and his star quarterback Jalen Ramsey getting a little spat on the sideline on Sunday. Next thing you know, Ramsey wants out. He's a star player. Going to take a lot to get him. Mike, what should the Jags be asking for?
Well, they should be asking for a first-round pick. And remember, not all first-round picks are created equal. We know the Patriots are going to be in the back end of the first round, so their pick doesn't hold the same value as, say, the Miami Dolphins, who are clearly going to be on the front of it. So it's going to depend on who is offering that first-round pick, but it's going to be that plus some because a cornerback like Jalen Ramsey, they don't come around often. The talent is there. You just got to question where he is mentally right now. And I'm told it's really not just Ramsey right now, that is a bad environment down there in Jacksonville. I don't know how long Doug Marrone is going to survive. And maybe the Jaguars got away. Well, maybe we want to keep Jalen Ramsey and move on from Doug Marrone if Marrone is part of Ramsey's problem for why he doesn't want to be here. But I think it's a multi-layered problem. It's something that bears watching. I would think that at some point the Jaguars are going to deal Jalen Ramsey, whether it's this week or the coming weeks here.
Mike, we thank you for this, and odds are we will talk to you later this week.
I love it. Let's go, guys.
More news. The Steelers have traded away their 2020 first-round pick to the Dolphins in exchange for second-year safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. The Dolphins now have 3 draft picks in the first round, including their own and the Texans' first-rounder. The 22-year-old Fitzpatrick already has 12 total tackles and a forced fumble through 2 games this season as the sell-off has only just begun in Miami.
I was just talking about this. The Steelers are the kind of team that get players like this and they play for him for a decade and they go to Pro Bowls, and he's just going to be an amazing player for Pittsburgh. I just love that trade for the Steelers. Dan, when we come back, our award-winning award segment is back after an incredibly brief hiatus. The Jannies are coming up next. Jannies! Fall weather. Here we go. The Devils split squad taking on Montreal in Montreal, and that is Caden Primo, who made some really nice saves. That would be the best of them. Max Domi approves.
Browns, Jets, Monday nighter, Baker Mayfield to Eli Manning. What a catch.
You think that's going to be the highlight of the night, Dan?
I said he passed it to Eli Manning. He passed it to Beckham Jr.
He played the role of Eli Manning.
Yes, I know.
Tigers and Orioles. Anthony Santander. Nice diving catch.
Devils and Habs off a dump-in. Puck takes a weird bounce off the glass and finds the stick of Eli Manning. Empty net. Oh, sorry. That's Mike McLeod. Mike McLeod with the empty netter.
Caden Primo, a little too casual there. White Sox Twins, Luis Arraez. Slap air to third. What happened to Yohan Moncada? Look at this. Look at this spin on it. Whoa. All right, that's fair.
Okay, you want to see a good play from third?
I want to go to Six Flags St. Louis.
I want to go to St. Louis, period. I want to go in the arch.
I want to have some deep-fried ravioli.
And Brandon Nimmo. Home run. It's not the home run that's the Janny. It's the fan that takes it off the head. That's an intern that works on our show, Andrew Zwarich. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, he lost it, too.
That is Andrew. Oh, Andrew.
wanted to correct something from Sunday's show in which we discussed getting screeched in while in Newfoundland years ago. And I was certain that we were given some sort of hard food along with the rum and kissing the cod. And I was right. As David Ghost pointed out on Twitter, we were given hardtack or hard bread, food eaten during long sea voyages. See, the more you know.
If you love the pulse-pounding monotony of #Marner Watch, get ready for Jay and Dan's Captain Center. 128 straight hours of Toronto Maple Leafs captaincy coverage. Jay and Dan will welcome every living Leaf captain in studio. Yes, even Dion Phaneuf. And if you love Captain Center, stick around next year and beyond for #BabWatch, #Tyson Berry Watch, #Fourth Line Center Watch, #Leaf Player Statement Blown Out of Proportion Watch, and #Austin Matthews Watch 2024, which we are legally obligated to start right now. Grab a Tylenol and join Jay and Dan for all the mind-numbing speculation.
Check back in 3, 4, 5 years and then do it all over again.
This will never end.
It's funny because it's true.
I know. Can't wait to show you these. Before we get to that, the National Hockey League Players Association has declined the option to reopen the collective bargaining agreement with the NHL. So the current CBA will now remain in effect through the 2021-22 season. The NHL has achieved labor peace without a work stoppage for the first time in Gary Bettman's tenure as commissioner. Wow, they came to their senses, everyone.
I have to say, though, I wish we could see that shot of Gary with his arms around Don Fehr again. I've never seen that. They were very intimate. So escrow seemed to be the big one for the players, right? That's the one they're not happy about how high escrow is, but
healthcare, Olympic participation, but they're talking right now, and they're going to continue these talks.
I would love to see them at the Olympics. They're talking about the World Cup in 2021. Mitch Marner's agent Darren Ferris joined Michael Landsberg and Carlo Colaiacovo on TSN 1050 Toronto's First Up Monday morning and revealed Marner received 2 offer sheets.
I mean, early in the summer, and you know, the whole goal of this would be a Maple Leaf, so it wasn't in our head too much. As soon as kind of Darren mentioned it, just got told me right away, you know, I don't want to explore that option. But, you know, like I said, I didn't want to miss training camp. I didn't want to miss any games this season, so that's why I really forced the issue with Kyle to make sure that we get something done here to get me here, and like I said, I'm happy it happened.
Marner's all grown up now.
I mean, of course he knows how much they must have been for. I'm so curious now. What teams do you think they were?
I have no idea. I don't want to speculate. It was Marner's meeting with Dubas last Thursday that ultimately pushed talks over the finish line. So Marner's like, I'm good at hockey. You wear glasses.
I have an agent. I'm giving him 10%, but I'm instructing this deal to be done now.
Hey, Connor McDavid continues to progress from a torn PCL suffered in the season finale last year. McDavid was asked if he wants to play preseason games this year.
Yeah, I'd like to play a couple. I'd like to play 1 or 2, hopefully.
Do you feel like you're going to say in this thing, or is it just the doctors and you're listening? You go to them and say, hey, I wouldn't mind a couple games here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot with the docs. I mean, I got to say as well. Coaches have a say, management has a say. Everyone's got an opinion, so you'll listen to them all.
This is interesting because, I just went thinking. Sorry. Because Ken Holland said he didn't want to play any games. Yeah. Maybe 1 at the most. You can understand why the Oilers would feel that way, and then you can understand why Connor wants to get in there because he wants to see, you know, in real competition. I'm not sure.
The doctors,
games.
They're getting mentioned a lot.
Yeah, the doctors do get mentioned a lot. You know who doesn't get mentioned a lot? And someone brought this up. Dr. James Andrews. Remember?
The doctor.
The Dr. James Andrews. He used to be the only orthopedic surgeon in America. Now there must be others. Patrick Laine has been training in Switzerland with SC Bern. As he and the Jets continue to negotiate a contract extension, Monday, the 21-year-old spoke about why he decided to head overseas.
Yeah, I was thinking about it with my agent that would be a good idea to maybe come here and practice. And I know 3 of the 4 coaches here. I've been playing in the same or in their teams before, so it was easy decision to come here, and obviously a great organization and great city, so it was a easy choice.
Thought Paul Maurice flying over there to see him would have.
Now, this Besser deal, because everyone's saying that Laine wants a bridge deal, maybe the Jets want him on a bridge deal. This Besser deal looks pretty nice. I mean, if you're a Jets fan, that would be a number that you'd like, just under 6. That would be incredible.
The RFA dominoes are falling, so hopefully the Jets can figure theirs out. Because,
and you still have Kyle Connor to sign.
Exactly.
So. We had an incredible Jay and Dan podcast taping on Monday. It's up. Brooks Laich, our guest, James Duffy stopped by, but here's the biggest news. This Friday, we'll be at the McPherson Theater in Victoria for a live Jay and Dan podcast. This Saturday, we'll be at the Vogue Theater in Vancouver for another live Jay and Dan podcast. Get your tickets now, Victoria and Vancouver.
Worst play of the day, Devils Canadians preseason. There's a dump in, and Caden Primo, who is Keith Primo's son, comes out to play the puck and took a bad bounce.
And Michael McLeod pounces on it, buries it.
Worst play of the day.
Highlight of the night. Baker Mayfield to Odell Beckham Jr. This is more like it, said every Browns fan.
OBJ, one-handed, welcome.
That's why he practices that.
That was really nice. Hey, we blew it. I said Anthony Santander instead of Santander. I don't know what I said. I also messed up during the Capitals pack. Dan, you didn't realize that the Place of the Week music was the Raisin Dan song?
Ah, okay.
And during your Place of the Week introduction, you pointed at the wrong side over your shoulder, which is a common occurrence, I think. And other than that, I thought we had a pretty good show. Don't forget to get your Smile Cookie.
So yummy. I've got half a face now.
All proceeds to charity.
Ghost pointed out on Twitter, we were given hardtack, or hard bread, a food eaten during long sea voyages.